What's up, guys? Welcome to the team builder for Week 5 of the Generation Showdown League against the San Francisco Sceptiles and their coach, Joe Schmo Gaming. I did not have team builders for the last two battles I've had due to the fact that I was in Texas and I didn't have the time to be able to uh, do a team builder. I was lucky to get any form of commentary for Week 2 against the Washington Weaviles, but I am back home, so we have our team. As you notice, I have a Tapu Koko and Snorlax. I traded Ferrothorn and Rotom Mo for Tapu Koko and Snorlax, respectively. Those were my final trades. My first trade was trading out Pikimiku for Blastoise for a Rapid Spinner. And I don't know how this is going to go. I think we may change one of the mons in this team builder while we're doing it. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what I want from this team. I'm contemplating if I want to switch out Finn, the Swampert for Blastoise to have a Rapid Spinner, but either way, we're going to go through the team now, and if I make any changes, then I will just re-record this, whatever. Either way, we are going to be starting off with Lanny the Gallade. We have the Gallade. He's going to be our Mega Gallade. And he has Ice Punch, Psycho Cut, Drain Punch, and Knockoff. I set his. It's the default of. Or, well, not a default. We have him max speed and max attack. Joe's team is actually kind of fast, so I need max speed to make sure I can outspeed at least most of his team. And then attack just to be able to hit hard. His team is somewhat, actually kind of menacing. I don't really know what I'm going to be expecting from it. I have it open right now, and his fastest mon, I believe, is he traded um, for, I think he had traded for Tornadus, and we have that. I think that's his fastest mon though. I don't know. I think we should be fine. I think we should be able to outspeed most of his mons with at least one Pokemon on our team. We at least are going to be able to outspeed with our next mon, which is Tapu Koko, who has his name's Tiki Tiki Room. I can't help it. But he's got the Magnet for his electric type attacks with Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Volt Switch, and Dazzling Gleam. Now my plan is what I can probably do, which would probably be my best bet, is I'm going to be using Tapu Koko to scout out what he's going to start off with. And depending on what he brings out, I will just Volt Switch out, or I'll just keep attacking. With the Magnet, Volt Switch will be doing a lot of damage. And I will be using U-Turn if he brings out Excadrill, or I think that's it. I think that's the only thing I can't hit with Volt Switch on his team. But I think he's gonna lead with Excadrill if I'm being 100% honest. I would if he brings Excadrill, because I think he's gonna be bringing. I think he's definitely going to be bringing Excadrill and Tyranitar to get the Sandstorm combination and be able to just deal damage to my team while I can't really do much to his. Right now, I think we don't have much to worry about. The U-turn will help us. We're gonna outspeed. He's got I've got him at max special attack, a little bit in HP to be able to take hits a little better, and then I don't have him full speed because I should be able to outspeed all of his Pokemon as long as they are not as long as they aren't max speed. Because I think the only Pokemon he had that was close to my any of my mons in speed was his Azelf, and now I think his Tornadus, or whichever one he has, I don't remember, but I should be able to outspeed most of them. with Tapu Koko, which is why I don't have him at full. This will hopefully um, keep us out of trouble with being outsped. I'm not 100% sure on how well that'll go, but either way, Tapu Koko will definitely be a lot of help. It'll be able to hit basically all of his Pokemon. It's got Dazzling Gleam to hit his Tyranitar and his Goodra super effectively if he brings them out. U-turn will help if he brings Sceptile and he starts off with Sceptile, or if I'm in with Tapu Koko and he brings out Sceptile, I can just U-turn out, hit him, and be done. Or with his Scrafty, if he brings that, Dazzling Gleam will do some damage. U-turn would do some damage. It's all just whatever I want to do. Next up, we have our Snorlax. Snorlax is kind of I don't know. It could be kind of seen as a scummy thing. It's a regular. It's something that you will see at times. He's got the Figgy Berry, which will restore half the max HP when at least 1/4 of your attack is used. Um, so that should be useful. Then we've got Gluttony, which it'll use certain berries early. It's kind of my best bet, really, to be perfectly honest. It'll be useful for sure. I could probably I don't know if there's any other like better berries for me to use. I could use the citrus berry, but the Figgy Berry is a little better because if you get knocked down lower than half your HP, if it gets a crit or if it's a mon that just hits hard enough to do that, then you're gonna be back up with enough to live. And if I'm setting up curses already, then I'll be able to take the hit again probably, and also be getting my attack up. Next up we have Return, which will be just a bunch of damage. It'll be doing a ton of damage. It'll definitely be hitting. It'll hit all of his mons except for Excadrill, Tyranitar, Bronzong, and Cofagrigus, whatever it's pronounced. But I don't think he's gonna be bringing Cofagrigus, whatever. I don't think he's gonna bring that, and I don't think he's gonna bring the Bronzong. The only reason he may bring either of those is for Mega Gallade. Bronzong would be able to hit Mega Gallade, and Mega Gallade can't do that much damage, but he may be expecting me to bring Infernape, which I don't plan on doing this week. Plus, I'm going to have other mons I can just hit Bronzong hard enough to like deal with things without any issue. The next question is, if he does expect me to be bringing Infernape, then he will have Bronzong with Heat Proof, which I believe he can. I believe that thing gets Heat Proof and Levitate. So if he's expecting Bronzong, or if he's expecting Infernape, then he'll go with Heat Proof. So then I can't hit it hard enough to like take it out without having to worry about Psychic type attacks. Or he'll do what most people would do and give it Levitate. I'm not sure which he's gonna do, but I'm not too worried about it. Next up, we have Recycle, which we will use to get our Figgy Berry back. The only reason that I have to worry about with Snorlax is if he has any mons that have knockoff. I don't know which of his mons can get knockoff, but I'm sure he has something that can, which means we will have to worry about that and we'll have to be careful. But Recycle will be able to get our Figgy Berry back, and we'll be able to keep healing as we please, and also be getting curses up. The only other thing I have to worry with Snorlax is if he has a Pokemon with Toxic. Now, if he brings the Vaporeon, I am definitely expecting it to hold or to be carrying Toxic. If he brings Salazzle, it'll probably be carrying Toxic or something that'll burn me. And if he brings, I think that may be it. That may be holding or may have Toxic, but Snorlax should definitely be able to deal a ton of damage without any issue. And then next up we have our hazards, which is Garbodor. who has the Rocky Helmet and Aftermath. Um, Aftermath mainly for if it's a contact move, then we'll be able to get the damage off of them, and the Rocky Helmet will also help. I don't know if he'll be expecting the Rocky Helmet or the Black Sludge, but I went with Rocky Helmet because most of his team should be physically attacking us. The only ones who might not would be Azelf, uh, Thunder or Thunderous. I don't remember whichever one he has, um, and Vaporeon. So I don't think we have much to worry about. If I may go with Black Sludge just so we can get some health back, but I mainly do that because um, I don't have him with any like. I don't think his defenses aren't the best, so he won't be able to like heal enough to be able to hit again without dying. So I don't really expect him to be able to take multiple or more than like one or two hits before dying. So we're mainly got him for the toxic spikes, which will be poisoning all his mons. Since his only poison type is I don't expect him to bring a poison type unless he brings Salazzle. Um, he may bring Salazzle. I would expect him to. So after we take out the Salazzle, we'll be able to be setting up the toxic spikes, and then we only have to worry about if his um, Zapdos has the defog. So we've got Gunk Shot on him, be able to deal some damage, and then we have Explosion. If things get tough and Garbodor is going to go down no matter what, we can just Explosion, deal a little bit of damage. I mainly have this for in case he brings out the Azelf or the Thunderous, and if we are able to hit it before getting taken out, which we have to hope for the best for. Other than that, Explosion is just kind of there to hold out, I guess. Then we have the Bisharp, which has the black glasses, and Defiant. Defiant will help in case. I mainly have Defiant because I don't think any of his Pokemon are going to be using moves that'll flinch, and Pressure is kind of useless. So Defiant is mainly for in case he has a Mon that has Defog, I will bring Bisharp out. Bisharp's Defiant will raise his attack 2 stages if he gets any of his stats lowered, and Defog lowers Evasive. So we have nothing to worry about. He'll be able to take damage, or he'll be able to deal damage. We've got Knockoff to take off any items, which I will definitely probably be doing the second I get Bisharp in there. Knockoff, get rid of the item, especially if he has Uxie, or not Uxie, Azelf, or I think that's kind of it. Azelf or Vaporeon. Vaporeon will probably have leftovers if I'm gonna take a guess if he brings it. Which let's hope that we have to hope that most of my predictions are going to help us out in the end game. Let's hope for the best. And then we finally have Finn, the Swampert, with the leftovers, and Torrent mainly because none of his mons are going to be using like Self-Destruct or Explosion. I don't see it happening. We've got Avalanche for his Zapdos, and now at this point his Thunderous, or Tornadus. I think it's Tornadus. I don't know. I don't know the. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't know any. I don't know the genies except for Landorus. I barely played Gen 5 as is, so never really paid attention. But whichever genie he has that isn't Lando, because and also his Gudra, and also to an extent his Sceptile. If I bring out Swampert, I would expect him, if he brings Sceptile, to switch into Sceptile to be able to take out Swampert, unless he would be expecting me to switch in to Garbodor. So we've also got Waterfall for the stab to be able to take out the Excadrill or the Tyranitar, as well as Salazzle. Then we've got Earthquake to also be able to take out those 3 Mons. And Waterfall's mainly also so we can hit Zapdos in case we don't get the chance to Avalanche if like he switches in to Zapdos expecting me to Earthquake. And then we have Outrage. Outrage is mainly there because I didn't really have another move that would have been useful. I could have gone with Hammer Arm, but most of his Mons are already going to be able to be taken out by any of the other moves, and Hammer Arm's going to lower the speed, and I may need as much like of a chance with speed as I can get in case his Mon he brings out a Mon that's actually kind of slow. Most of his team is actually kind of fast, I believe, but we have nothing to worry about, especially with Tapu Koko and Mega Gallade. So we also have him with max HP to be able to take hits as well as he can, and also max attack to be able to still be dealing damage. Then we've got max the same for Bisharp, which may not be like I've noticed that most of the time throughout this league, I've had Mons that are mainly physical attackers, except for Porygon, Jolteon, Rotom-Mow at the time, and now Tapu Koko. And I guess to an extent Blastoise as well. But Tapu Koko is going to be able to do the special if he has Pokemon that are physically bulky. I don't know if he's going to try to like make sure his Mons are all physically bulky, or at least able to take hits, because I don't know if he's noticed that most of my Mons are going to be physical attackers. So we just have to hope for the best. Tapu Koko can really take on, really in the end, my Mons can all take on multiple of his Pokemon, while only having to worry about like one or two on his side. Tapu Koko only really has to worry about Excadrill, and if he brings Salazzle, which may have a poison type move. I'm not sure if it will or not, but besides that, Tapu Koko can really take on whatever Mons it wants, as long as it's not Excadrill. And the same goes with all the other Mons. We have nothing to really worry about. I don't expect this to be an easy battle. I was talking to Arsenal Weavile, who was originally attempting to help me with what I should do against Joe, but I definitely don't think this is going to be an easy battle. I told him that I don't really have much, I'm not going to worry too much, because I do have the type advantage, but I don't have the strategic advantage. As like everyone in the league knows that I'm not the most experienced when it comes to competitive battling, and I take the riskiest plays. They have everyone like the best example would have been against ThatCoolTrainer when I stayed in with the Swampert against Tapu Bulu. He wasn't expecting it, and everyone in the league at this point knows that I'm going to take the risks, and I'm somewhat of a wild card. I'm not going to do the traditional competitive plays that people would expect. People are going to try to predict me. People are going to start over predicting because they expect me to be playing like somebody who's done competitive battling before, which is definitely what helped me out with battling Scott, as well as battling Gavin. Arsenal Weavile, he said it himself. He told me himself that he tried to mimic my playing style because he knew that that was his best way of getting an advantage over me. I think that Joe may do the same. He may be trying to read what risky plays would be something that would be sane enough for somebody, or insane enough for any regular competitive person to do, but not something that I wouldn't do. So I definitely think that when it comes to type advantages, I definitely have the upper hand, but when it comes to strategy, he's definitely going to have a good chance of beating me if he can predict what risks I'm willing to take throughout the battle. So I've rambled on enough. But if you guys made it to the end of the video, then honestly, congrats on you. I've been rambling the entire time. If you guys are ready for the final week of the GSL before the playoffs, then make sure you guys smash that like button. Go and support the others in the generations. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. If you want to see more videos, then make sure you subscribe and be deposited right into that PC party. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.